Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Hmm, hmm. How do I sit there and say this? You know you're bad when you are making Rick less sleazy in comparison. Okay? I'm going to say that again. You know that you're bad when you are making Rick less of a sleazeball in the scene. Okay? Now, this whole thing starts off with Liz, Lucky, and Liz going into this review and Cynthia telling Lucky, hey, listen, just routine or whatever. They just want to ask me some questions. We all want to sit there and we all have the same goal, right? And so she is sitting there thinking that she's going to be talking to Portia and Terry, her friends, her friends who has her back. And she walks in that room and she sees Terry and she sees Portia and then she sees GH Lawyer, aka Mrs. Sleazeball. Okay? You know, I have to sit there and say that for the most part, TV shows and a lot of TV shows and movies really paint lawyers as like the most scumbags people on the earth. And that's simply not the case. But my God. When she walked in there, she was like, what's going on? I thought this was a simple question. A simple, why is she here for? And this chick starts talking, and right off the bat, she is doing every single dirty tactic that she can do to try to make sure that she, one, is justifying whatever money that she's being paid by the hospital, and two, to try to put as much blame on Liz as possible, right? My whole thing was like, yeah, you should have came with your lawyer. She starts asking a bunch of questions, and Portia and Terry's like, hey, well, they tell her, because Liz is like, listen, I'm either walking out that door, you better sit there and tell me what's going on. And of course, they confirmed that Dex and Sam died the same way. You later find out that there was another woman that died too, that was, under her watch or whatever. And I'm pretty sure that it may come up the same way as the other three. Um, anyway, they tell her, and this lawyer is they're asking a bunch of questions. She's all like, "Oh, well, you should be able to tell us unless you have something to hide." At that point, I just would laugh. For some odd reason, Liz started talking, and Slick Rick came to the rescue with his cape and all. It was like, "Liz, do not say another word." And of course, the lawyer's like, "Hey, listen, you don't need a lawyer to sit there and talk to me," says the lawyer. And you're a sleazeball. My goodness, you are making this guy look clean in comparison. Um, They go back and forth. And of course, Portia's like, we just want to get to the truth. My ass. You want to get to the truth. My ass. See, this is what I'm sitting there looking at Liz. Like, let me tell you something right now. And just in general, you work with people, and you work with somebody who is higher up or whatever, or, in a lower position than you. Y'all ain't friends. Okay? Y'all may be friends and coworkers outside, but y'all ain't friends. This is another reason why sometimes you cannot be friends with the people that you work with because of something like that. She came in there and she felt blindsided because she was blindsided. Okay? This is one of those things where, you know, if she would have knew, she would have came with Rick. She wouldn't have came by herself, but she came in there, oh, we're good friends. Nah, F that. F all that. So we came in there, and at this point, Portia's like, "Well, you're just making this more difficult." Yeah, my ass. Well, if you don't answer our questions, then you're gonna be suspended. Okay, like seriously, like no, 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 we ain't doing this. So you gotta suspend her. You fight right person. Do what you gotta do. Um, like all three of y'all done lost your damn minds, and I know on some level, I don't know how close Portia I don't know where this magical relationship, this magical friendship with Portia and Liz came from, but I know with Terry, Terry grew up with her. So I know that Terry is feeling kind of bad and she's in a tough spot, but this is why you're not friends with the people that you work with for this very reason. Um, Alexis wants Sonny after pretty much telling Sonny that Ava's pretty much broke. So her defense in this custody case is going to be kind of shy, if not non-existent. In exchange, she wants Sonny to take back Charlie's. I'm like, why? Oh, it looks bad. You know, she can go to jail, tax fraud or whatever. FBI's going to be looking at her. Sonny got this. Is going to be fine. Sonny tells her, hey, listen, this is what's going to help Christina. Because, Alexis, what's your idea? What's your idea to sit there and get our daughter to do this? Yeah. Um, and he says, hey, listen, I'll be there. I got her. This is a legit business. Don't worry about it. It's all good. And at this point, you just got to sit there and trust him. Now, Lucky's worried about Liz, and Isaiah's like, there's no such thing as a routine review. So she got her lawyer, um, and of course, he vows to, he decides to stay in Port Charles to help Liz out. I'm like, that's cool. You should probably also be there for your son too, but whatever. I guess we'll sit there and do baby steps at this point with you. Um, Christina and Lucas. Now, Lucas does sit there and say that he kind of put his foot in his mouth when it came towards um, Willow. Not so much as what he said was wrong, but just the fact that he was just not the person to sit there and say it. Christina, like a lot of fans, are sitting there saying, no, you weren't out of pocket. You have the right to sit there and say what you were sitting there saying in the sense. Listen, here's the thing. I agree with damn near everything that Lucas said. He's just not in a position to sit there and be saying it. That's the thing. That's the reason why I say he's out of pocket. Not so much as the stuff he said, because he wasn't wrong. Hell, even with Drew, like Drew's not there trying to use the whole, oh, Sam is dead, so you wanna, you know, who cares if it's nursery? Who cares if we're not there going to town on the floor like animals? Yes, I can see that as being sleazy, and I understand Drew being in a lot of pain, but just because you're in a lot of pain, that doesn't mean that that's something that you do when you're in pain. So I agree what Lucas Smith is saying. I'm Smith is saying it's out of pocket because at the end of the day, that is not your son. That is not your son. That is Michael's son. Michael is a grown ass man. He can sit there and fight his own battles. Okay? You don't need all the family to sit there. Michael's capable. He got this. I mean, not really, but theoretically, he should be able to have this. Um, but yeah, I agree with what he's saying. He's just not the person to be sitting there saying. So Christina, I was just like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Um, because it's something about a picture that she found or whatever, and she's happy that she's working at Charlie's because it gives her something to do. And talk about Ava for a little bit and how Ava gave Lucas some good advice, even though it was like, oh, I kind of forgot she was the woman that accidentally knocked you out the window. But at this point, Christina's like, listen, I just need to move on. I just need to move on, need to dive in, and yeah. And speaking of galleries, Lucas is like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to keep hold of that gallery. Now, with Ava, Ava goes to Laura. And long story short, she wants to sit there and try to get that money so she can sit there and fight the custody battle. But Laura's like, I can't do that because it's Ace and it's he's gonna have it up to 18 until he decides on what to do with it. Then of course she gets back into that whole blah 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 blah. The money is cursed, it's bad, and he shouldn't have it, and I want to give it all to charity like an idiot. Um, Even Ava was like, I'm sorry, what? She was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? Charity. Was all that money? I mean, yeah, all of it. All of it. She goes to Alexis, and I gotta sit there and say that this is probably the best scene this whole episode because she comes in, she was like, "Oh, you're just the person I want to sit there and see. I want to sit there and talk to." Alexis got up. Alexis, like, from what I understand, word on the street is, you can't afford me. And then she slams the door in her face, and I must have watched that like 5 times. See, this is how you do comedy right. This they can kind of sit there and take a page out of that. Subtle, but it was funny. I'm gonna sit there and watch that about 5 more times before I wind up erasing that video. Sonny goes in the boxing ring, starts doing some shadow boxing, and now he's just full on, damn near chest pains, heart attack, or is just on the floor. I really hope that this is not how Sonny goes out. That'd be some real bullshit. I mean, he did it with Sam. Sam's a G. I didn't like how they wrote Sam towards the end. And I've talked about it dozens of times. But to sit there and kill her off in the hospital, it's lame. It's lame. Sorry, it's lame. Um, what else? Oh, so Valentine comes over, and Charlotte goes to another table, and Valentine and Lulu starts discussing back and forth. You should live with me because you should live with me because and they both give these reasons. And the thing is, Lulu has a point. Life on the run is no life at all. Ultimately, what it comes down to. So I agree 100% with Lulu. And it just seems like when Charlotte, it seems like with Valentine's that they're trying to give these reasons, he's giving it more for himself. He's giving it more for himself. Because if he actually sat there and thought about it, he knows that Lulu's right. He knows that Lulu's right. And this is just more of reasons to validate why he wants to keep her. And yeah, he does sit there and try to use the whole shooting thing with Anna. Where Charlotte played the game of F around and she found out. But that's still not a reason for her to sit there and be on the run. And Lulu's like, you have enemies. What happens when they track you down? What are you going to do then? Like, you know what the right thing to do is. Well, why are you making this more difficult than it needs to be? And on some level, he knows that Lulu's right. And of course, Dante comes in, and now Dante is like, so you want to go home? I mean, it's up to you. And at this point, they see then they show a sniper. And again, Lulu's right. So I don't know when the next episode of GH is actually going to be. I really don't know. I know my guy Jonathan was just saying it's only going to be on 3 days a week. So I'm guessing maybe tomorrow. I know it's not. I know it's not going to be on Wednesday. I'm assuming it's not going to be on Thursday, and I guess it's going to be on Friday. But we'll see about that. Um. Oh, and then Lucky shows up at Charlie's to be the new bartender. So that's cool. Now he have a job. And he can keep an eye on Christina, so that's cool. Let's see what else happened. And I almost forgot about Kai and Trina. Okay, they're looking at this painting, right? This painting, even before Kai said it, looked like scribble, right? And when Kai said that, I was like, yeah, see, that's funny because I thought the same thing. And Trina's like, yeah, that's how I looked at it at first. But then what I saw was all this other stuff that I didn't see. I saw a scribble, and I mean, here's the thing. I know that art is up for interpretation, right? See, my favorite stuff, my favorite type of paintings will be Dali. Okay, Dali, I love his painting because every time I look at it, it just looks like either a trip on we'll call them Walter White's, or a really bad dream. Or a good dream, depending on how you sit there and look at it. But that's how I look at Dolly stuff. So I get it. Okay, some people look at Dog and be like, yeah, he definitely wants some Walter White when he was doing that stuff. But that's how I look at it. So I can't knock her too much. When she was into saying, I look at it as this, I look at the eyes that, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not. I'm not knocking you, boo. I'm just not seeing any of that, what you're sitting talking about. Say they talk about that, they talk about football, and then he gets a call and he has to sit there and go to appease the coaches and the people that are paying money for him to be there. And I feel like that's about it. If I missed anything, write in the comment section below. I was going to try to do a live stream tonight. Technically, I could. But I know that I have to wake up really, really early tomorrow. Normally, I don't do live streams on Tuesdays, but if I can time this right, and I can watch Young and the Restless tonight, and I can watch days before I start work, then I think I'll be able to do a live stream tomorrow, which will be a lot better because Wednesday I'm off. And it'll just make it a lot easier than me sitting there doing a stream, looking at the time, being like, gosh, I gotta sit there and go. I'd rather just kind of hang out all night, or as long as I am not tired, but hang out, we'll chill and do a live stream then. Normally I don't do live streams on Tuesdays, but I'm off Wednesday, so I'm like, why not? I don't know. This whole schedule this week with my days, like I would have did this earlier, but I had to stay a little bit later than normal because of the holidays. So anyway, if I missed anything, write in the comment section below. I'll come to the live stream tomorrow, usual time. I always sit there and say what it is, and I post in the community tab in case people miss that. Um, but yeah, I'll sit there and post it, and we'll go there. We'll go from there.